There we are, hot out of the oven. What's that? It's squash. Have a little squash. Is it really posh? So it's too good at least.
Genesis chapter 50. Joseph threw himself on his father and wept over him and kissed him. Then Joseph directed the physicians in his service to embalm his father Israel.
Well, hello there and welcome back to Artist Archives. My name is Nikki. I'm an actress, a writer and an academic, and I'm taking you along a day in the life. I've had a really nice start to the, well, I say a really nice start to the day. In terms of what I've been doing, it's been a nice start to the day. So yeah, I started off with an acting seminar, like an online one. It was based in Australia. So with Stage Milk, if you know them by any chance. So it was really good. I'm glad I did it. It was at 8 a.m. because
it is probably no for most of you. So most of you are saying, I want to be an actor. I want to be a successful actor in one of the most difficult, competitive industries in the world. And right now, you are being smashed by your screen time. You are literally losing to your evening doom scrolling. You are not even giving acting the time that you probably give to exercise, screen time, or other low-level hobbies. You might be spending more time on Duolingo than you're spending on your acting. So we need energy and determination, and we need to start thinking about acting as a priority.
And it was good. I don't think, maybe once I've done one of their seminars before, but I'm signed up to their newsletter and I saw that they had this event on, and Stage Milk are very prolific and quite a big online resource for actors, so definitely check it out if you are interested. Yeah, then I almost finished reading the book of Genesis. I am on chapter 50. There are 50 chapters in Genesis, about halfway through chapter 50. My desire to read the word is so high and I'm loving it, and I was literally like, God, please keep this high, because I am like, it's not even feeling like work or study, it's just feeling like joy. Like I'm enjoying reading these stories. It's fascinating. It's fascinating how God impacts the lives of these families in Genesis, and how different the culture was back then has been so intriguing. Genuinely, there's enough. It makes me want to get more into history to understand more of the culture at the time. Like, it's actually so intriguing. So I did that, and I'm also doing the Artist's Way. If you don't know what I I don't know how you would not know what the Artist's Way is, but having said that, every now and then I'll mention it to someone and there will be an artist and they'll look at me like, what? And I'm just so surprised. So this is the Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. It's a sort of like a self-led creative journey. I've done it once before in 2020 with a group of friends, and I'm doing it again, which is exciting. And the key difference is I'm doing I would say I did that as well in 2020, but way more intentionally, I'm doing the Artist's Way with Jesus. So it's been incredible, because everything with Jesus is incredible. So I'm enjoying that, and now I'm having a cup of tea, and I'll talk more about the Artist's Way later on. But I think doing it with Jesus is so powerful, because it's really like a spiritual, creative journey. And I've been thinking a lot recently about art being theology. We'll get more into this later, but it's so powerful, because honestly, after I did the Artist's Way for the first time, I got rid of the book and I said I was never going to do it again. Not because, like, it was a fantastic time, but only because I felt that the book was a little new agey. And I was like, no, and I felt very convicted at the time to just get rid of anything vaguely resembling new age. But I really feel like God has led me back to do this. And I was like, wow, really? And we're doing this with Jesus, and it's such a Christian experience. It's such a godly experience for me right now that it's actually amazing. It's actually amazing. I think God had to do some work on my heart, right, in the years and he's brought me to it, and I'm actually really grateful to be able to do this journey with Jesus. So it's been good. I'm now going to sit and do some admin for a little bit, and then we'll catch up. Ciao. Okay, so I've done a bunch of admin stuff. Oh my goodness, I have fun updates for you. So in case you don't know, I am an author. I have a book out. Do I have a copy of it here? It's there, but it's on my bookshelf. It's there on my bookshelf. It's called And the Truth Shall Set You Free. It's linked down below. It's a memoir all about health, healing, and recovery from eating disorders through the power of Christ, and it is out and available now if you would like to purchase it. I had a really cool experience some weeks back, which I'd love to put into this vlog, which was essentially, I was on a live stream for writers, a live writing sprint, and then someone recognized my YouTube name, and yeah, I'm just gonna insert the clip because it was actually such a cool moment. They recognized my YouTube name and they had bought a copy of the book, and I thought that was so cool. Just like I was just there to do my own writing as part of this writing sprint. No freaking way. Oh my gosh, I need to grab this moment. I'm in a live stream and someone just said that they've got my book. They bought my book. That is the coolest freaking thing. I'm literally just joining in a live stream. A live stream at like 1 AM. And someone says they bought my book.
I completely get that. That sounds good, but I'm sure it's going to be a great book. Oh, sorry, that sounds bad. I can't read. That sounds... This sounds so bad. But like, the book that I thought was going to be my...
Well, I'm awake now.
Readers do, which is very helpful.
This is so funny, because I don't even usually...
So I feel rather new to it all.
Yeah, it's so late that I wasn't even writing. I honestly just clicked the stream, and I never do that. If I'm joining a writing stream, I'm writing, but this one I just decided to just chill, you know?
Learning and growing, so you are definitely done. I was rereading, this is not a fun one, but the line I got to was, may I get you a drink? You know what? If you love
oh my gosh, I just hit 100 subscribers. What? Okay, so literally last night I was like, well, I guess a couple of hours ago, I was on 99. I looked at it and I was like, oh, I wonder when I'll hit 100. And it was tonight. It was definitely, I think, somebody from the live stream, and that's so lovely. This is actually a monumental moment. Let's go. Woohoo. It was a very, very cool moment. The other thing that I was going to update you on, oh my goodness, I wanted to film an entirely separate video for this, but now I can't be bothered. So, not that I can't be bothered, I would have to do it today, and I'm not going to do it today. I've got other pressing things to do, but I wanted to do a wrap up of some of the things that I had read this month, so I'm just going to squeeze it in here now. I hope that's okay. It's been the month of reading screenplays. It's been really fun. I'm just going to pull up some of the books, plays, these sorts of things that I have read this month, just in case you're interested. So the first thing I'll start off with is A Letter to My Father by Franz Kafka. Technically, I finished reading this really at the very end of last year. However, it was after I'd already filmed my 2025 reading wrap up. So I loved this. It made me very emotional. It's basically Franz Kafka writing a letter to his dad about all the various ways in which his dad traumatized him as a kid, and I thought it showed such great psychological insight for a time where the findings of psychological research and psychology in general weren't as popular as today, and I thought it showed really great insight into how a father figure can really impact the psyche of someone growing up, and the way so much of Kafka's writing relates directly to the ways in which he felt insecure as a man. Quite a lot of it stemmed from his interactions with his father. I just thought it was so good. I didn't love the ending because he kind of goes off on a slight, like, imagines what his dad would say, because that's really good, really worth a read, but quite emotional. I found it emotional anyway. It's just interesting. It's interesting, like Franz Kafka, this very intimate letter where he's almost like, he's being so honest with his dad, but he also really tries to shoulder a lot of the responsibilities. It's very interesting. Well worth the read. I read the screenplay for Thelma and Louise, which I read a very long time ago, but it was a while ago, so it was really nice to reread and revisit it. I wrote down some notes. The main thing it feels like such a simple and clean screenplay. I know there is technically a B plot, but the B plot is really very much part of the A plot. Everything is really moving towards in this one direction of this road trip, of this kind of sort of like runaway from the police, revenge kind of journey. And it feels very clean, feels very simple, it feels very focused as a screenplay, and I really enjoyed it. Thelma is the one who kept me reading. I loved the character of Thelma, her naivety, her just like childlikeness. She's so fun, so annoying and so funny, and it's a great example of the sort of opposites attract, or like the conflict between two characters really propelling the movie forward as well. Like the way they're so different and yet they have to work together, and that there's such genuine deep love and friendship between the two of them. Beautiful themes, really like easy read, really easy read. I also read The Stepford Wives, and this was the first time I've actually read a book by Ira Levine, so I really enjoyed it. I was talking about it a little while ago, saying how excited I was to read it. I really enjoyed it. I wanted more from the ending, but such a fantastic read. Also the writing style, so the author has such a brilliant method. Nothing feels cliche. Nothing feels like, oh, I've read this before in another book, in terms of the way he's using language. There's no cliche, there's no what's the word, almost like platitudes. There's no laziness in the writing. The descriptions feel so fresh. Like he'll describe something in a way where you go, oh yeah, obviously I understand what that is. Oh yeah, and everyone thinks of it like that, but yet you haven't read it like that before. Fantastic, really good. Like the actual writing style, so unique, so fresh, creative, funny, witty. The tone is very witty as well. Yeah, very good. I read Antony and Cleopatra by William Shakespeare, of course. When it comes to Antony, Cleopatra, Caesar, these are just such iconic stories that I find very compelling. If you haven't read it, just the fact that Antony dies off relatively soon-ish within the play, or at least it feels kind of sudden, is a bold move. Is a bold move, because even if you're expecting it, it's still quite affecting. There's some gorgeous language in there as well, so you don't need me to recommend Shakespeare, but I recommend anyway. Yeah, the next play I read was a screenplay, and it's No One Will Save You by Brian Duffield. And there's a page, if I can find the page of writing, I will screenshot it here, but there's a specific page that made me say, oh, I want to specifically read this screenplay to see how you've played with the formatting of the screenplay. There's a very like iconic page where he really messes around with the formatting, because screenplay has a very specific type of formatting and he does not adhere to that. It's a very short screenplay, it's horror, there's maybe one line of dialogue in the whole thing. It flows very easily. It's kind of like a alien horror invasion movie, deals with themes of grief and guilt and isolation and I guess like psychological trauma. So that was really intriguing. It was very intriguing, very fast read, lots to think about. But yeah, I wanted to specifically read the screenplay because of the sort of the playing with the formatting that I thought was very effective. Then I read Promising Young Woman by Emerald Fennell. So this one, Best Original Screenplay, and you know what, respect for Emerald Fennell, because that was her directorial, I think that was her first ever written screenplay and first ever directed screenplay, and she did win the sort of like best new screenplay for it. She's also the writer of Saltburn, which I am maybe like 2/3 of the way through reading specifically, and I really like her writing and I really like what she's doing, so big up to Emerald Fennell. With Promising Young Woman, the second half of the screenplay was my favorite. The second half, chef's kiss, plot twists for days. Second half of the screenplay, really like fantastic. And then Saltburn, loving reading. So big up to Emerald Fennell. And yeah, I think those are all the things. Did I read something else? I'm partway through a few other things. I'm partway through Measure for Measure by William Shakespeare. I am partway through On Writing by C.S. Lewis. So good. It's just a compilation of his letters and tips to writing, because he was a prolific, he used to write back to pretty much everyone who wrote a letter to him, and sometimes you'd get young people asking advice around writing, and just he'd be having conversations around writing with his peers, and this is a collation. I mentioned this earlier in the vlog. I'm working through the artist's wear, but yeah, those are all the ones I think I'm going to mention for now.